Hey guys, Master Ingrid here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and today we are going to look at the man himself, the myth, the legend. There was a meme going for a long time about people wanting this guy being added into Dokkan. I'm sure someone in the comments is going to say something like, meme, I was totally serious the whole time, I promise. But yeah, big memes about Garlic Jr. coming to Dokkan, and he finally did as the side banner unit for the AGL Kid Gohan, and he actually is pretty solid. I mean, he was good when he came out. Started to age a little bit, I think, but with the release of the LR Cooler and the fact that he now has a 200% leader, I've actually found myself using him on the teams quite a lot because he's got a very good link set. He has Thirst for Conquest, obviously he has Fierce Battle, he has Big Bad Bosses, he has Metamorphosis, which is pretty good for the coolers. So he is actually a very solid unit. He greatly raises attack and causes supreme damage to the enemy, so he infinitely stacks attack, although his main role on the team really is going to be a third slot floating unit. And then he gets 150% attack and defense, he gets an additional attack and defense 60% and medium chance to stun when attacking a super class enemy, so obviously he's much better against super type enemies. If you are doing difficult content with an extreme type enemy, then maybe it's not as good to bring him on the team, but when he's got his full passive active, he's obviously going to be looking pretty good. And then he gives extreme class allies key +3 and attack and defense 40%. So 40% without a category restriction, just to all extreme allies, is obviously a very, very good support passive at 40%. And then he recovers 10% HP at the end of the turn in which an attack was received. So I gave mine a bunch of additional and then some dodge, because he is basically just meant to be a support unit. He doesn't stack his defense in any way, so if he can get some dodges in there towards the end of an event, that would be pretty good. And then of course we're running him on the cooler team. Gets the 200% lead. He shares a very good link set with a lot of the units on this team. So we've got this Tech Janemba, who again is a very good support unit and gets his 200% lead. I might do a separate video on him and try and, like, you know, his best rotation. I'll probably do a video on him with the LR Janemba, just because that rotation is so good. But in the middle we have 5 links active, so everything except Demonic Ways and Revival. And so he is at 278k. So that is without any extra support, because we didn't get the orbs for Fat Janemba for him to actually get his support passive. So we'll go ahead and see what we get here in terms of an attack stat. Now, his best link partner on this team build that I've brought, I mean, he links up well with Cooler anyway, 4 links, but he's not really a slot 1 unit, as I've already said, right? You're going to be running him on the team, floating him in slot 3. Cooler's a slot 2 unit, so they are going to end up next to each other quite a lot. And they do share those 4 links, including Metamorphosis, very good for healing. Remember, as I said as well, he heals 10% when he gets hit. Now, on this team build, we have basically 600k HP. Which means that he's healing 60k HP at the end of the turn. So as long as he's not taking more than that, then he's giving us that excess of healing. And then even if he takes a hit, like say he gets supered and he takes like 150k, in terms of as long as we survive the turn, in a way he only took 90k because we get 60k of that back from the healing. So the healing is definitely a nice touch. As a slot 3 support unit, you obviously ideally want to be putting him in front of as few attacks as possible. But of course, you know, you never know. Sometimes there's going to be a ton of attacks in slot 3. Sometimes in those scenarios, it's safer to move your support unit out of slot 3. Because again, I think his biggest detriment is that he has no sort of defense raise. He greatly stacks his attack infinitely on super. If he had like, and also raises defense for 1 turn on super attack effect, I think he would probably without a doubt be a must-run support unit on this cooler team, because obviously him getting his 200% leader gives him a bit of viability again, but it's the fact that unless there's, you know, if there's no other support on the rotation, we've basically already seen what his peak defensive stat is, because he doesn't raise it in any way. And then of course remember, this is also against a super type unit, so he is getting his full buff. So let's go ahead and put him in slot 1 actually, because there's no attacks in slot 2. So 250k. Let's see if we can get the support passive for Fat Janemba, so we can bump that up a little bit. So we can get the 4 orbs if we grab this for you. So that's going to bump him up to, how much does he actually give? I believe, is it 30%? Yeah. So that's going to bump him up actually a pretty decent amount. He's at probably what, 70, something like 80k is about 30%, something like that, 80 to 90. So he's going to go over 300k. So he's going to be close to 350, I believe. So we'll grab the support passive for Fat Janemba. We get a dodge. Let's go. Alright, so we took 114 damage, and we get to heal 60k at the end of the turn, so that's pretty good. 3.2 million. I mean, at the end of the day, obviously, these 200% showcases, I like to highlight the unit, so I keep them on main rotation. But, I mean, I can't stress enough that he is a third slot floating support unit. He stacks attack, which doesn't really matter, so it's not like having him in slot 3. If he stacked defense, then obviously you kind of want him on rotation a bit more before you get to the end of a difficult event, because you want to make sure that defense is high enough for you to actually be able to survive when you get near to the end of the event. So let's put this cooler in slot 1 and actually take some hits from this Vegeta. See if we can take a big chunk of damage. It'd be good to just get a turn where we see if we're starting off on like half HP or something, and then have Garlic Jr. be able to restore us a bunch of HP. But we didn't really take any damage anyway. I was kind of hoping he would super attack in slot 1, but I think Cooler definitely, his release and this 200% team, it's given some of these other units a nice little boost. Because, I mean, Tech Janemba, as much as I hated him when he came out, if you've been around the channel for a long time, I have talked a lot about how I hated Tech Janemba. I still think the 4 type orbs and 2 rainbow orbs is too much. Because in some of the difficult content, if you can't get that, then he starts getting crushed. But if you do get it, he can look really, really good. And so now that he has a 200% lead with Cooler, if you're getting those full, you know, the good orbs getting his full passive to activate, then he can be a very, very strong unit. And the rotation with him and the physical LR Janemba is obviously going to look very, very strong as well. So definitely going to do that as a video following up this one. So we have Janemba in slot 1 who can get some dodges. As long as we don't dodge it, Garlic Jr. is going to take 1 hit. What's the extra link you get from this cooler? Thirst for Conquest. So let me just double check. Thirst for Conquest at level 10 is an extra 15% attack and defense. So very, very important link right there. And then the support from that cooler as well. So we're at 300k defense. So pretty good. We'll get the super for you, 1 for you, and then 1 for you. So as long as he doesn't dodge this attack in the middle, we're obviously going to get the healing at the end of the turn to proc as well. Now, the cooler at the end might actually take a fair bit of damage. Hopefully he doesn't eat the super here from God Vegeta. That would be unfortunate. Kind of want him to super Janemba and for Janemba to dodge, but is he actually going to super the cooler? It'd be interesting to see if he supers Garlic Jr., how much he would take. But let's see. Oh god, he is actually going to super attack this cooler, isn't he? When this cooler gets his easy A, I feel like he's going to be really, really good. Like getting those defense stacks and everything. But yeah, currently we're a little bit on the low side in terms of defensive power. Fortunately, we did not get super attacked at all. So that is good. I think let's just burn through this turn as quickly as possible. Yeah, the skip is on. So I'm just going to use the active skill. And then, yeah, we can get through this stage as quickly as possible, finish off this phase, and then go into the next one here and see another turn of Garlic Jr. So I think Golden Frieza, is he going to have enough to finish him off with the passive from Janemba? Probably not. Golden Frieza really doesn't hit very hard. 2.2 million. Maybe he could crit? He did crit, but it still wasn't enough. And then our boy is going to super attack us, so this should still just do double-digit damage. Because Golden Frieza plus support as well. Yep. And then Cooler, just a casual 11.5 million, you know. I think that is my Cooler though, right? He's Rainbow level 10 links at this point. So the luck I got on the Cooler banner was insane. I really hope that doesn't come back to bite me on the part 2 banners. But I guess we're going to find out. So this is going to be probably his toughest test, right? Against the physical enemy. I mean, I say that, but I feel like it's not like he could survive the final flash against the AGL Vegeta with no item active, but let's see how well he gets on here. Ideally, okay, perfect. He's not going to eat the super, so at least we know that. So how much is he going to take from the normal attacks? So he's got type disadvantage. As we always say in these kind of showcases where we use the Vegeta event as a testing ground, it's not the hardest event anymore. It's up to 4 million attack now, basically, as well. But if he takes damage from the normal attacks from the physical one, I'd be a little bit disappointed. Yeah, okay, that's good. Double digits. So yeah, honestly, I've been enjoying using this Garlic Jr. again. I mean, 40% support, just unrestricted, just to extreme types. So on Cooler's team, pretty much any build of it that you make, like Garlic Jr. is going to be giving support to everybody. His defense is decent. His attack stat will get up there eventually, but obviously as a third slot floating unit, you're not really going to see that very often. But overall, he's actually pretty solid. Now, when it comes to the hardest content in the game, Cell Max, you know, the different red zone stages, I did use him on the red zone no item run with Cooler's team. But, you know, even from normal attacks from the Tech Cell Max, where he had type advantage, he's obviously fighting an extreme enemy, so he's not getting that extra buff from his passive. I think he was taking something between 50 and 80k from normal attacks, which is a lot. And then obviously, as we said with his healing, he's going to heal back the equivalent of like one of those attacks at the end of the turn. So as long as he's not getting hit like 10 times, you know, then you're going to be okay. If he's getting hit once or twice, then it's not too bad. But against somebody like Broly or even Omega, it's not so bad because you know where the supers are. But against Broly or Omega or the Shadow Dragon stage, like if he gets hit with a super attack in slot 3, then obviously there is that potential that he's going to take quite a lot of damage. So let's go ahead and do this and then get the... I've just realised, of course, that Janemba can't dodge anymore. So there is the possibility that Janemba gets clapped. Oh, he takes double-digit damage. I guess we have support from Garlic Jr. and the support from Tech Janemba. And we have Big Bad Bosses active. So I guess his defense is probably looking pretty good on this turn. I didn't check the defense because obviously Garlic Jr. is not taking any hits. I probably should have put him in slot 1. But this was the smart play, putting him in the middle. But I should really have put him in slot 1 for the sake of the showcase so we can see how much damage he would take. Fortunately, Janemba is quite old now, so even with his Dokkan attack, he didn't really do a lot of damage. How much does he take from this? 210. That's actually quite good, considering if you take like INT Janemba into Movie Boss's Extreme Super Battle Road and he doesn't dodge, he can be taking actually decent amounts of damage nowadays because his EZA is quite old. So I'm actually quite surprised considering we'd have a lot of support on the rotation, but he took less from that super attack than I actually expected. So I'm pretty okay with that. And then we just need to get through this next turn without doing too much damage. We don't have the double cooler turn, do we? Oh, we do. All right, well, so then I guess we are going to do this. We're going to do this, and then we might as well deliberately get the 12 key super. See, I really want to... I'm just going to heal up this little extra bit of health. It probably doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but I want us to get to the next turn, but I don't want to use a Whis. I should have brought Princess Snake, because I want to see how well Garlic Jr. will tank, but obviously I don't want a Whis to be active to, like, screw with the numbers. So I'm just going to have to hope that the coolers just don't go absolute, like, sicko mode on this turn, because it's very possible that they will do that. Also, he's super attacked you, so now I don't care. Like, even if they only get additional normal attacks, we definitely aren't going to die this turn, now that the super has been fired off at Golden Frieza. So I've kind of just got to hope for not too many crits and not too many additional supers here. But, okay, no crit, that's good. Of course, straight away, we get an additional super attack. The friend one, I believe, has 2 dupes. I didn't actually check their hidden potential. Hopefully they don't have too much crit, but we'll see. Alright, good. No more additional supers, no more. Oh, Cooler. Cooler, you're too good. So, it's very possible that we're not going to see another turn. Now, obviously, INT Janemba has the guard, and he had all that support. So, that's one of the reasons why he lived the final flash. Obviously, you know, Garlic Jr. was getting that much support on that turn as well. But he doesn't have guard. So, I don't think Garlic Jr. would survive the final flash, but I'm not too sure. Now, I only got the 12 key super with this guy on purpose, so he wouldn't do as much damage. This is my one, though, that has like 25 crit. So, no more? Oh, come on. Cooler. I know you're great, but this isn't exactly what I needed right now. Okay, well, he won. Well, there you go. So, Garlic Jr., we didn't get to see him tank the final flash, but it is what it is. He got up to peaks of around 300k defense with support, which I do think is pretty good. As a unit for running on this cooler team, I do actually think that he is a pretty good unit to bring. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section of Garlic Jr. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.